and all these are. This is purple and green sulfur bacteria comes under anaerobic. Anaerobic reactions, anoxygenic reactions takes place. The next, organic carbon compounds, dependence of photochemotrophs is all are anaerobic. On the other hand, it is facultatively aerobic. These are all non-sulfur purple and green bacteria. This is anaerobic reactions takes place, but organic carbon. Next, the chemotrophs. Chemotrophs is again the chemolithotrophic and chemoorganotrophics. The chemolithotrophics is the exclusion of inorganic carbon. The chemoorganotrophics is organic carbon. Yeah. This is a measure. Again, the chemoorganotrophics here. This is chemolithotrophics is aerobics. All these are nitrogen cycle. We are identifying a lot of nitrifying bacteria, sulfur oxidizing the bacteria, hydrogen oxidizing bacteria. These are all are oxidases in presence of air. Means it's aerobic. It is oxidases to other one. Means oxidases to other one means it is reduction takes place. Next, chemoorganotrophics is aerobic, respiration and fermentation. Aerobic respiration in presence of air and anaerobic the fermentation. Aerobic respiration comes under animals, fungi, protozoa and bacteria. The animals like fungus, protozoa and bacteria, these are all goes to chemoorganotrophics. Organic carbohydrates work out at here, and anaerobic is all our fermentation. In absence of air, the yeast we are mix up. Anaerobic bacteria is in the facultative anaerobics. In absence of air, is all beverages industries. This is the metabolic pattern of energy and carbon source of both the carbon, inorganic carbon source and organic carbon source in entire the biological organisms. In oxygen requirements or oxygenic, anoxygenic. Why is this total? The diagram, the flow chart. Okay. The next, phototropic organisms are primary producers. Photo is in sunlight, is a producer, is self-made. The majority of they carry out the oxygenic photosynthesis and provides the atmospheric oxygen and organic compounds which sustain the life of all chemotrophs. It carries the oxygen, atmospheric oxygen and organic compounds which sustain to all living things. Thus the phototrophs harness the solar energy to conversion with water and carbon dioxide. The photons of solar energy, the visible light, already you see in the video. Here it is the visible light. The visible light, especially 350 to 750 between. But in all these are exclusively the green color containing of chlorophyll is 550 nanometers of the light is majorly work out. The visible light is its absorbs of the green light source of the photons of energy is its absorbs at 550 nanometers. Why? Because the chlorophyll is green in color. Already you are observed in our in the videos. Yeah. And the next, the carbon to organic matter enter the chemotrophs or consumes of the photosynthetic products. The inorganic carbon is converted to the organic matter. In what way? This is finally it generates as in C6H12O6, the glucose or in a fructose form it generates the inorganic carbon to the organic matter. C6H12O6 is one of the organic the product glucose for the fructose. Aldehyde or else the ketose. All those are the ketose. Next, aldoform and ketone. Yeah, they use these products for the building of their cell construction, cell metabolic activities is takes place in all, as well as for extraction of energy through respiration or in fermentation. This is the major thing of our the metabolic the pattern of both organic and inorganic carbon sources, carbon energy sources in biosystems, in living things. Yeah. Next, in this context, the photosynthesis and respiration can be considered as is a two opposite process, as a schematic diagram. See, the respiration is both are opposite. One is releases of oxygen, and another one is consumes the oxygen. The releasing of oxygen, one is requirement of carbon dioxide, and another one is the carbon dioxide is releases. Yeah, this is in the respiration, carbon dioxide is releases. Photosynthesis, carbon dioxide utilizes one, and the photosynthesis oxygen is releases. The released oxygen is its usage in respiration. Yeah, this is of the photosynthesis, and here it is the respiration. In presence of sunlight, the water is requires either in inorganic carbon dioxide usage, oxygen is releases. In the respiration, the released oxygen is its releasing of the water molecules, and at the same time it is releasing of carbon dioxide. Whenever it's passed on, carbon dioxide is releases again into the atmosphere, and the energetic substance of the ATP here comes out, adenosine triphosphate, and the heat. This is the schematically diagram of our the respiration and the photosynthesis. The next, some important words of the metabolism is including chemical reaction that break down the complex of molecules is catabolism. So breaking of the complexing molecules is catabolism, and thus build the complexing molecules is anabolism. Both catabolism and anabolism is nothing but of it's called as metabolism. Metabolism is including the chemical reaction. One is a breakdown, and another one is the building of the complex molecule. So catabolism is breakdown, anabolism is building of complex. Both catabolism and anabolism is metabolism. These sounds you remember. Organisms may be classified according to their source of the carbon. These in autotrophs and heterotrophs. Organisms can be classified according to their source of carbon. Autotrophs convert of inorganic carbon dioxide means atmospheric contains containing of the carbon dioxide of CO2 into organic carbon means glucose and fructose. The heterotrophs, this is used of the fixed organic the carbon compounds. Whatever the carbon compounds is fixed in a form of organic, these are all are usage. These are self-made, these are the dependents. These are producers, these are dependents or consumers. Heterotrophs are consumers, autotrophs are producers. Remember always. Next. Organisms may also be classified according to their energy. This is according to their source wise. This is energy wise. The phototrophs obtain of their energy from light. The chemotrophs get their energy from the chemical compounds. Here it is organic chemical compounds. And organotrophs are usage of organic molecules, and lithotrophs is inorganic chemicals. Yeah. This is one way of the classification, and this is another way of classification of according to the energy wise. Next, this particular cellular electron, the carriers, the high energy electron from serve as electron donors and subsequent redox reactions. The fatty acids, the carbohydrates, the proteins, all are FAD and FADH2 or NAD, NAD plus NAD2, NADP or NADPH is releases of hydrogen. Releases of hydrogen in both metabolic and catabolic activities. Metabolism, wherever takes place, this particular H plus is releases, then NADP, H plus, yeah. The cellular the carrying of electrons. Next is adenosine triphosphate. This is the energy substance. It serves the energy, the carrying. Energy currency of the cell. Energy currency of the cell. It's safely the strong chemical energy and to high energy is in high energy phosphate bonds. It's in triphosphate. Triphosphate. So it's a phosphate bonds is takes place. It's drive the process of requirement of energy. Next is enzymes. The enzymes, majority of the enzymes in anaerobic reactions, anaerobic, both the photo or chemo reactions is takes place in anaerobic conditions. The biological catalysts, it increases the rate of chemical reaction inside the cell by the lowering the activation of energy. Whenever the lowering of activation energy, then the reaction is speed up. It gallops. It surmounts the particular the lowering of energy curve. This is a known factor. Is a fundamental in chemistry. Fundamentally, you know about our chemical kinetics. Okay. So whenever the inside of the reaction, the cell, the lowering of the activation energy is lowered by the influence of the catalyst, then the reaction takes place. The catalysts are activated by the enzymes. It's required for the reaction process. Yeah, this is the thing. And the next is the molecular biology. What way is molecular biology? The molecular classification. already general classification we know the molecular biology point of view is particularly of the DNA. The DNA containing of the particular the proteins. Bioinformatics is totally for in computers, computers based game like uh, subject, just like it is the game like it seems to be. Okay, you see the molecular biology is in what way it is relates of their adenine, guanine, thymine, cytosines. In what way it's binary logarithms like you see in this video.